18th of April in 75. Hardly a man is now alive who remembers that day in, what's that?
1775?
1775,
No,
yeah.
I think it's 1992. Wrong year.
No, it had to be before that.
18th, it's 1775. 18th of April in 75. Hardly a man is now alive who remembers that famous day in the year. And the famous ride of Paul Revere. And how's it go? Over the, one if by land and two if by sea, and I on the opposite shore shall be, waiting. I've forgotten it.
Me too.
Well,
Waiting
okay.
for something.
It doesn't really go with the video.
Well, we're dating the video
It's
here.
April the 18th. That's the
We're dating the
that's the
video.
trigger which said
Later ceremony should be performed on the first day of Nisan, or Mazda or Toyota. The Torah says, the Torah therefore tells us on that day, on Passover, saying, on that day one might suppose the Seder should be conducted during the daytime, but inasmuch the Torah adds, because of all this, I learned from it, the ceremony does not begin until the time when unleavened bread, matzah, and the bitter herbs are set before you on Passover night.
okay.
Grandma?
All right.
Got your right
Well,
glasses?
yes, I found them here.
Okay.
In fact, Jimmy did. Long, long ago, the forefathers were worshippers of idolatry. I think I got that wrong.
Yes. Okay.
The worships of idols. Now the eternal is our God, and we worship Him, even as the Bible tells us. And Joshua said it to all the people. Thus said the eternal God of Israel, in days of old your forefathers lived beyond the river, that is Torah, the father of Abraham and Nahor. They worshipped all other gods. Then I took Abraham your father from beyond the river, and I led him to the whole land of Canaan. And then I increased his family by giving him a son, Isaac. And I gave Isaac two sons, Jacob and Esau. To Esau I gave Mount Seir as a possession, but Jacob and his sons went down to Egypt. Blessed be God who keeps his promise to Israel. Blessed be he. For God foretold the end of the bondage to Abraham at the covenant of sacrifices. For God said to Abraham, know you that your children will be strangers in a land not their own. They will be enslaved there and will be oppressed 400 years. The nation who will oppress them shall, however, be judged. Afterward they will come forth with great wealth.
I think this promise made to our forefathers holds true also for us. For more than once have they risen against us to destroy us. In every generation they rise against us and seek our destruction. But the Holy One, blessed be He, saves us from their hands. That's a good thing. Pretty good one. Come and learn what the Syrian tried to do to our
That
father
would have put
Jacob.
down means.
Well, Pharaoh decreed only against the males with desire to uproot all, for so it is written, the Syrians sought to destroy my father. And he went down to Egypt and dwelled there, a handful, few in number. There he became a nation, great, mighty, and numerous. He went down to Egypt. Why did he go down to Egypt? He was compelled by God's decree. He dwelled there. This means that Jacob, our father, did not go down to Egypt to settle there, but only to stay for a short while. For so it is said, and they said to Pharaoh, we have come to dwell in the land because there is no pasture for the flocks of your servants, since the famine is very bad in the land of Canaan. And now let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. Few in number, as it is said. Your forefathers went down into Egypt with 70 persons. Now the Eternal your God has made you as numerous as the stars in heaven. And there he became a nation. From this we learn that Israel became a distinct nation in Egypt, great and mighty, as it is said. And the children of Israel were fruitful and increased and multiplied and became very strong and numerous. So the land was full of them. Okay.
And numerous, as it said, I've increased you as the growth of the field, and you have become numerous, and grown big and reached to excellence and beauty. You are fully grown, yet you remain naked and bare. And the Egyptians did evil unto us, and they made us suffer, and they set us upon us hard work. And the Egyptians did evil unto us, and it said in the Bible, come, let us deal craftily with them, lest they increase yet more, and it may be that when war occurs, they will be added to our enemies and fight against us and go up out of the land. and they made us suffer, as the Bible relates. So the Egyptians set taskmasters over them in order to oppress them with their burdens. They built Pithom and Pharos as the store cities for the Pharaoh, and they set upon us hard work, as the Bible states, and Egypt made the children of Israel labor rigorously. So we cried unto the Eternal, the God of our fathers, and the Eternal heard our voice, and he saw our affliction and our burden and our oppression. So we cried unto the Eternal, the God of our fathers, as the Bible recounts. And it came to pass in the course of those many days that the king of Egypt died, and the children of Israel mourned because of servitude, cried out, and their outcry from the servitude came up to God. And the Eternal heard our voice, and as the Bible tells, and God heard their groaning, and God remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
And he saw our affliction. This phrase suggests the enforced separation of husband and wife under Pharaoh's persecution, as it is written, and God saw the children of Israel, and God understood their plight. And our burden. This recalls the drowning of the male children, as it is said, every son that is born to you shall be cast into the Nile, but every daughter you may keep alive. And our oppression. This refers to crushing our lives, as the Bible says, and I have seen the oppression with which the Egyptians are oppressing them. And the Eternal brought us forth from Egypt with a strong hand and with an outstretched arm, and with great terror and with signs and wonders. And the Eternal brought us forth from Egypt, not by a ministering angel, not by a fiery angel, not by a messenger, but by himself in his glory did the Holy One, blessed be he, as the Bible records. And I will pass through the land of Egypt on that night, and I will smite all the firstborn in the land of Egypt, from man to beast. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgment. It is I, the Eternal.
And I will pass through the land of Egypt. I am not a ministering angel. I will smite the firstborn in the land of Egypt. I am not a fiery angel. And against all the gods of Egypt I will execute judgments. I am not a messenger. I, the Eternal, I and no other. With a strong hand, this refers to the cattle plague. As it is said in the Bible, behold, the hand of the Eternal will be against the cattle that is in the field, against the horses, the donkeys, the camels, the oxen, and the sheep, a very grievous.
Oh, it was here, I just moved this one.
Put that where it was, because that's where it fits. Excellent. This was here.
This one was in the middle, and these two were on either side of it.
Terrific.
Okay.
Why
And
did
that
that-
was
where
hanging
does
from
this
the
go?
headlight. I was hanging from the headlights.
Very good. That's exactly where I want it.
Oops. This doesn't, that's not the way I had it.
No, I did that. I was hanging on that one. Okay, hangs quite nicely from that.
It's
20